Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so today's session, depending on time, has 4 parts. The first one is for people who got stuff done since last month. We're going to go over what they did, make it better, see what they did right, see what we can all learn from. The second session is the Ninja Sneaky Traffic Secrets for driving a ton of targeted social media traffic to your website. Christine from Australia, I apologize for using the word ninja. I saw your Facebook post, so I apologize, it was already in the presentation. She says unless you're 400 years old in Japanese, you can't really call yourself a ninja. So I'm sorry, Christine, it's already in there. The next presentation after that will be an entire presentation on one of these strategies that we need to get really detailed on. And then if we've got time, number 4 is the 34 rules to becoming a self-made millionaire. If not, we'll do it next time. All right, so the very first person, so everyone who was here last month or watched it on Facebook saw our shock and awe box training. So we have some members who implemented marketing since last time. This is Courtney from Idaho or Iowa, I can't remember which. She's in a state that starts with an I. This is his shock and awe box. It actually came in a FedEx box. And then this was inside the FedEx box. Everybody knows what a FedEx box looks like? Okay, so I didn't need to show you that. So this is what Courtney has. The only thing missing from this is included is a big box of chocolate-covered potato chips. That was the food bribe. He used it because chocolate-covered potato chips are called cow chippers, and his brand was, I'm not giving you dung or BS like the other marketing firms for chiropractors, hence why that was the food bribe. Okay, also included is the paper collateral, which we'll go through. A copy of his new book, Chiropractor Marketing Secrets. A magic trick deck of cards, which we'll explain in a minute. And, a return envelope with a postage stamp on it, so they can send back the order for me. Okay, so very first piece was a cover letter, which again is too small for you to really see. It explains why his company is called Presto Marketing Solutions, because he used to be a magician. Hence the magic trick deck of cards. And then talks about what's in the rest of the box. Now he's delivering via FedEx, which works and will get you 100% open rate because it's FedEx. People view it as it's important, it's urgent, and you can even make it on the FedEx form that only one person can sign for it, your prospect. So FedEx is a great way if you can afford to spend the money on getting your message open and read. Then he's got a mission statement. It should look very familiar because we did it all last month. His table of contents. Although not everything on the table of contents was in the box he sent me because it isn't all done yet. But it's a good start. His suite of services, everything they do. And remember, we're reminding them because even if we tell them what we do, they don't really know. My mother still doesn't understand everything we do. So it doesn't matter how many times you tell them, they don't remember it all. This is his referral worksheet. I would say it's good that he did a referral worksheet. I would say, Courtney, you want to make this look prettier. If you remember mine, he's got the list of categories, but remember mine had those pretty looking bubbles in it and then the filling thing out at the center. I would make it look prettier as opposed to something that looks like you typed it up on Word 5 minutes ago. No offense, Courtney. He has an article from 1983 from when he was performing magic. Now it's good that he's got an article from a local paper because it's a third-party credibility. And if the press writes it about you, it must be true because they're never, ever wrong, right, Bruce? I think Hubert Humphrey won the presidency once or something. The only issue with this, so this is his credibility as a magician. It has nothing to do with his marketing. And it's also about 30 years old. So it's better than nothing, but I would want to see some current media footage, coverage, or something you could manufacture yourself.
What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately? Exactly. This might make me hire this kid as a magician, but he's not around anymore. He's an old marketing guy now. He's got his guarantee, which purely cosmetic, but the dark green color makes it really hard to read. I would lose the dark green. Obviously, you want to make the call-out box different than everything else, but you got to make it legible, otherwise they can't read it. Then there is the gift certificate, the invoice for $500 for his services. And then his sales letter, the 13 biggest mistakes chiropractors make when hiring a website designer or internet marketing company and how to avoid them. What do we think of the headline? Long, which is okay. It can be long as it does the job. What's the job of the headline?
Get them to keep reading.
Get them to keep reading. It's the ad for the ad. So, one of the ways you could do, you can test your headline, is would your headline, if you took an ad out in Chiropractor Monthly, because in this case he's going after chiropractors, could you run just your headline in an 800 number and would people call you? If they would call just off the headline, then you've got a good headline. Let's see here. I'm going to give him some copy pointers. He's got a line, the overall success of your website and getting more patients depends on you getting the right information. I'm going to reword that for you and say, your website getting you more patients depends on you getting the right information. I'm making that change because A, it's a little wordy, and B, they don't care if their website is successful.
He said, are you?
Good. They only care if it makes some money. So you got to hit what the actual benefit is. Other changes I made, and I will email you all of my copy changes, Courtney. He's going through all of the mistakes. One of the things that he's missing, you covered all of the mistakes that these chiropractors are making when hiring a web designer, but you didn't tell them why you're the solution. So when I'll give you my very first example. The very first direct response marketing I ever created was for my financial services firm. And that marketing was 9 biggest mistakes people make when getting ready to retire. Sent out a seminar invitation trying to get people to come hear me talk about this. Nobody RSVP'd. 0 response, my worst campaign ever. That's why it was my first one. And I said, Dan Kennedy, who I just paid all this money for, what did I do wrong? He said, well, I could tell you, but it'd be a whole lot more fun to make you do the work and find out. So why don't you call the people who you tried to invite and say, how come you didn't respond? Survey the non-responders. So I said, I just paid you all this money, but you're going to make me do the work. Fine. I started calling people and saying, do you remember the invitation? Yes, I do. Why didn't you come? And the most common response was 9 mistakes. Heck, I probably made about 20. What do I need to come for? So I changed 2-3 words in the headline. How to overcome the 9 biggest mistakes people make when planning for retirement. Resent it out, and all of a sudden I had a full house. You have to tell them you're actually going to give them a solution. Because the formula is problem, agitate, solve. You want to write that one down or type it or put it somewhere. You want to identify the problem your prospect has, their pain. You have to agitate them. No one will do anything unless they're disturbed enough to take action. So you have to get them agitated about it. You have to get them pissed off or scared or whatever. And then you have to show them how you're going to solve the problem for them. Because if you just leave them pissed off, it does nobody any good. All you're doing is selling antacids at that point, or Prozac. You need to show them how you, and only you, are the solution to that problem so that that tension that you built up gets released and they get to feel all warm and fuzzy again, and those warm and fuzzy feelings are all associated to you or your product. So you did a great job identifying things that they probably have done and now are agitated, but you didn't show them in each mistake why you're the solution. And the other biggest mistake in this letter, actually the number 1 biggest mistake, is there's no offer. You forgot to tell that you said, if I can help you or you want to contact me, please give me a call. That's a lousy offer. What you want is an irresistible, sexy, whatever it is. So in this case, if you're trying to sell a chiropractor or a website, maybe it's the new patient marketing solution consultation. I'm making that up. Or it's the how to get more patients than you can handle analysis. Or the free website, chiropractor website audit. Here, I'll show you why your website isn't getting you patients and some simple changes that could make a big difference. There needs to be a sexy name for your offer, and you need to tell them how to get it, which you sort of forgot. But other than that, you put together a lot of the content, you put together good supplemental materials. Good job. Now I realize that the offer and the solution are a lot of in the book, but you can't assume that they're actually going to read your book just because you sent it. And there wasn't a mention in any of these about the book. You got to tell them why to read it. You can't assume that they're going to read it. As P.T. Barnum once said, you can never go broke underestimating the stupidity of the American public. Okay, next, let's see, we had Tim Stevenson, who placed an ad in a magazine aimed at his target market, the Jewish Journal of Western New York. Isn't it nice of somebody to create a publication that goes to all the Jews in Western New York so we can hit them all in one time? And then here is his ad. How do affluent Jewish professionals make sure their seniors are driven around in style and safety? That's his headline. Get a valet. SeniorTransportationValet.com. Big phone number. Call the Mensch. For those of you who don't speak Yiddish, Mensch means he's such a nice little boy. Yes, we love him very much. He's a good guy. Tim Stevenson. Doctor's appointments, home from hospital, social events. Reasonably priced, reassuringly expensive. Call and mention this ad for $20 off your next trip. And he's got a beautiful tuxedo picture of himself, looking like a nice Jewish boy. All right, so he did some great things and some things that I would love to change if you get to run this ad, if you run the ad again. I wouldn't necessarily say how do affluent Jewish professionals make sure their seniors are driven. I'd replace it with their parents. Make sure their parents are driven around. You've got our website up there. I would change the phone number and use a call 8 number, call8.com, 800 number for $2 a month. So that forwards to your real phone number, so that way you only advertise the call 8 number in this ad, so we know exactly how many people called and who they were and when they called. Because it says here, mention the ad and get $20 off, but people are going to forget that they saw it here. You can't assume, you cannot count on them remembering where they saw you. So I changed the number. Call and mention this ad for $20 off your next trip. Link it, and we'll be happy to do this. There should be a separate page on your site, SeniorTransportationValet.com/Jewish Journal or whatever, that has the same offer. So they don't have to call, they can go buy it online. And the reasonably priced, reassuringly expensive, I'd make a lot bigger. Because I love that line, I can't imagine where you got it from.
That's me.
Make sense? Okay. Alright, then this is Dr. Corey, who is a chiropractor in Virginia, who sent us his postcard. Who else wants to get rid of their low back pain once and for all? There's a picture of someone having back pain. Don't miss out on this newly released low back pain report. Request it at lowbackpain911.com or call our 24-hour recorded message at 888-323 blah blah blah. Back. This is the back of the front of the postcard because you have the address. Okay, so really good job so far. The things I would change: finally reveal who else wants to get rid of their low back pain once and for all. The low back pain report needs a sexy name. Low back pain report does not inspire me. I don't get goosebumps going, I gotta get my hands on the low back pain report. The 24-hour recorded message, 24-hour free recorded message. Even though it's an 888 number, you can't assume they know that's free. Some people still don't know the difference, think there's a difference between 800 and 888 numbers. Back of the postcard, finally find out the real causes of your low back pain. Newly released low back pain report reveals causes of low back pain. Why does it keep coming back? What can I do to relieve the pain? Simple solutions to avoid permanent pain. How others have benefited from this report. I can tell you that since we have announced this report, the demand has been great. We are mailing this card out to around 10,000 back pain sufferers in the next week. We will only be able to send out a free copy to the first 50 people who request it. Scarcity. To get your hands on a copy, simply go to Low Back Pain 911 or call our 24-hour automated system. For the first 10 requests, we will also be sending a discount card for a local massage therapist to you. Okay, so it's pretty decent. I changed why does it keep coming back to why it keeps coming back. And technically that's a question, so it should be a question mark. What can I do to relieve the pain? What you can do to relieve the pain. Even better would be what you can do to relieve your pain. You want to go through your marketing materials, find the number of times you use the word I, and change it to you as much as you can. Because people don't care about you. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but they don't. They care about themselves. So if you go, I can help you, I do this, I do that, it should be you can get this out of talking to, it's all got to be about them. Everybody's favorite radio station is WIFM, what's in it for me? You could lose the picture on this side and make the copy bigger, or have more room. Like for the first, I've changed it to the first 10 people will get, I said, how much is the discount card for the massage therapist? Because it could be $5, in which case I don't really care. In this case, they're actually giving, give them the massage. First 10 people get a free hour massage. Now all of a sudden you've got, I'm going to pick up the phone. I want my free massage and I want to get rid of my back pain. So a couple pointers. Let's see here. Then, let's see, this is Angel's letter to dentist. More dental patients in 30days.com. She sent me a JPEG of it instead of the Word file. That's why I printed it smaller. Let's see. I'm Angel Free, Wisconsin only social media marketer that guarantees return on investment. Should be bigger. That's important. There's a thing I had that I wasn't sure of. Angel, you've got a little Crest and Oral-B logo at the bottom. To receive your free practice-changing video series called blankety blankety blank. I'm not sure why Crest and Oral-B are on there other than the fact that they're dentists. But I don't see, unless there's toothpaste or something, I'm not really sure why that's there. Free practice-changing video series needs a sexy name. And the phone number needs to be a call-8 number that's trackable so you know how many people call. If you need to, even though your video series is free and you're trying to drive traffic to your website to opt in for that, you need to do more than one page to sell it. You have to work just as hard to sell something that's free as you do something that costs money. Because everybody in our society is really, really skeptical. So they are more skeptical of free stuff than they are paid stuff. Sometimes you have to work harder to sell something free. Because they immediately think, why are you giving this away? If you're so good, why are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. As opposed to if it's $5,000, they don't think, why are you doing this? They know you're trying to get $5,000 out of it. Okay. Tom, is this the box that is being delivered in?
No, it was an experiment.
This is your cardboard box. Okay. All right, so I won't critique the box. Because obviously, for those of you who weren't here last month, you've seen our ATA flight case box, which obviously costs a lot more money than cardboard. All right, so I'm getting your box. First thing I see, the order of things in the box matters. Because it's what are they going to see first to get them to go through the rest of the box and not throw it out. So the first thing I see is free report, what your dog trainer never told you. Safe time training your dog.
Save time, should. It's a typo.
Oh, it's a typo. Oh, save time training your dog. Okay. By Thomas Bites, Canine Behavior Specialist. You know what I would do right after your name? I would put CBS and then spell it out below it so it's almost like DDS or MD, so it looks like a doctor title. You could even, I would love to, if you're doing videos, I'd love to put you in a white lab coat, make you look all medically professional. Okay, I'm not going to read this report right now. Is this the first draft or final version?
It's a down draft, first draft.
First draft, okay. So obviously we need to make it look pretty.
Right.
I know nothing about dog training, so I'm not qualified to critique that part. Okay, so let's critique the copy cosmetics, how it looks. Something I can see right now. So notice almost everything is all left justified, all in line, in one paragraph after another. So you want to make your copy visually compelling so that they go through it, so that they read it. Right now, my initial impression, holy crap, this is a lot of stuff. There's a lot in here. So you want to break it up and make it look like it's easier to read. So when I was a teenager and we got the first, we finally had an Apple II that had desktop publishing software on it. I forget what it was called. It was the first desktop publishing software. And I went what I thought was crazy at the time, and I would use every single font and every highlight and everything I could get it to do. And my dad, who was the editor of the Buffalo News at the time, was like, no, it needs to look like this. And I thought he was right, until I started working in marketing and realized this is visually boring. So you need to go junk stuff up, use a whole bunch of different fonts, use highlights, use colors, and make it look atrocious to your English teacher, but compelling to your prospect. Like, there's no pictures. So if I'm doing dog training, there should be lots of pictures of dogs and training exercises and stuff like that in there. You also want to have something called dual readership path for people who skim and don't read the whole thing. So like a little sidebar that sort of summarizes what was on each page. So that if they just read that, they know enough to say, oh man, I should read the whole page. You've got to sell them on getting through all of this. Does that make sense? Okay. I will later read the whole thing and give you feedback on it, but that's my initial impression.
One other thing real quick, which is that less is always better than more and stuff like that. So instead of paragraph after paragraph, bullet points,
Yeah.
where you can take a long paragraph and turn it into 6 bullet points. The font's bigger, it calls attention to it, and 4 words, boom, 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 instead of a long paragraph. It gets attention and they're more likely to look at it.
Makes it easier to read, absolutely. I've seen sales letters that were 30 pages and it's like literally, I wouldn't go this far, but literally a list of bullet points for 20 of those pages. That's overkill, but you definitely want to throw some of those in there. Then there's a brochure or a, oh no, this is information, a professional dog trainer, secrets to housebreaking. Okay. Smart Dog Solutions, a pretty professional looking brochure. Are those iStock photos or are those real clients of yours?
iStock photos.
Okay. Whenever you can, replace the iStock photos with real people who are real customers. Because your prospects aren't dumb, they know those are stock photos. Like, I know this guy, that's a real picture, that's Tom. But it looks more credible and authentic if you replace the iStock photos with pictures of real people and then put their names under them. Not Bob from Buffalo, but Bob Johnson, who works at Allied Mechanical. The more information you can put about them, the more real it looks. And this is an article on a postcard on batteries. What are the batteries for?
For the invisible fencing.
Does it take special batteries? Okay, yeah, I don't know these things. I'm not a customer of yours. I don't have a dog. Okay. All right, then we've got fun stuff. We have a mug with Smart Dog Training and Tom's info on it. You know what? I would reference this. I would say there should be instructions. Get a cup of coffee, sit down and read the report. I would even put, there's a coffee doodle that's a ring of coffee, like a coffee cup stain. I put it like right there. If you don't have the graphic for that, let me know, I'll give it to you. There is a treat tote with some treats in it. I'm not going to eat those to test them out. I'm sure they're good. I'm not a dog. But you got a treat tote, beautiful. Canine carry-outs, bacon and cheese flavor. So he's doing something really smart. When we're trying to reach people, we're bribing them with chocolate-covered potato chips, or in my case, you saw my Shock and Awe box one of them had steaks in it from Omaha Steaks, or dessert in it. He's putting treats in for the dog. Because when they give this to the dog and the dog's all happy and licking them, those happy, warm feelings get associated to Tom and make them more likely to buy. Really good job. This is a leash collar.
Training leash.
Okay, so this isn't your super duper magical collar that fixes problems. This is just a regular one.
Right.
Okay. Brochure on pet fence systems. Some loose dog treats that fell out. And more stuff about pet fence systems. Okay. So he put a bunch of stuff in. He did a really good job. You're missing some of the other collateral, like the mission statement, the guarantee, the suite of services, the menu, you need a cover letter explaining here's why you're getting this box, here's how everything in it works. Because right now it's a bunch of stuff and obviously it's tied together because there's a dog, but are you selling them batteries? Are you selling them a fence system? Or are you selling them training? You gotta pick one. You do wanna tell them everything you do, but the purpose of the box needs to be X, and everything in the box needs to be designed to sell that. As opposed to going, here's a whole ton of stuff, because they're going to get overwhelmed and not know what they're supposed to do. You have to tell them. You have to say, you need to hire me for my training consultation to come see if your dog qualifies to be trained by us, or whatever it is. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay, everybody get that? Questions, comments? Does anybody else have everything that they did in the last month? Physically in the room? Yeah, Shane.
You know, I had a question on that.
Yes.
I've got a really good relationship with probably about 30 different vets in the area. And I was thinking that possibly rather than doing a mailing, getting people's names, is to maybe take half a dozen of these kits to the vet's office and
Yeah.
have them, when people come in with a new dog, and have them hand them out.
What about an endorsed mailing where the vet sends a letter to all of their patients going, you should really be talking to Tom, go to this website to learn more, and they opt in and then they get a box mailed to them? I mean, if you've got 30 vets, I mean, there's all your new patients you're ever gonna need right there, if you do it right. If every 30, even if 15 vets mail for you, 100 patients a pop with their endorsement, that's 1,500 folks. Even if you close a lousy number of those, you're still gonna have at least 100 new clients.
Right.
It's also potential third-party
Sure.
endorsement stuff, if you've got what vets say about
Yes.
your program.
That's a whole piece that goes in here that's not 20 pages
That's
long.
testimonial stuff. And I'll throw one other thing out there just right off the top, which is getting them right off the top. The report, the first thing they're gonna see, if that's how it's gonna be. Put the report attach it to a stuffed animal or a stuffed dog or something, where the first thing they're gonna see is something that screams dog.
Yes, the cute dog is stapled or taped to the report, so they take the dog out first, and oh, what's this? And then get hooked on reading the report. Yeah, I would agree with that.